Hey, Alan here for Old English Outfitters. A really long time ago, two uniquely American things came together to produce probably the greatest white-tailed deer hunting combination in our history. That was the lever-action rifle and the Winchester 30-30 cartridge. It's been said that the 30-30 has taken more white-tailed deer than any other cartridge in history. Well, it should, because it's been around for a very long time. And it was specifically built for that purpose. Medium game, white-tailed deer, black bear. That cartridge works really well on those animals. The current king of the lever-action hill is Henry. And here we have one of Henry's lever-action rifles. Beautiful gun, sourced all in the United States, as all Henrys are. Walnut stocks, good steel, solid lever action, favors the Marlin in how it looks. Has a good recoil pad, full-length magazine tube, which holds 6 rounds. Henry actions have a strong reputation for being very smooth, and this is exactly that, very smooth actions. But they have something else that's really cool that I really like. Modern lever actions, a lot of them have had to comply with modern safety regulations, so you have crossbolt safeties and sliders and all that sort of stuff. Henry didn't do that. Henry has a transfer bar safety system inside the hammer, like it's on a revolver. So you've got a piece that moves up and down. When it moves up, it strikes the firing pin, fires the gun. It only does that when the trigger's pulled. When it moves down, there's a pocket that covers the firing pin so the gun is completely safe. So you can chamber a round, lower the hammer, the gun is completely safe, and all you have to do to bring it into action is cock the hammer. To do that, you would chamber your first round, get a hold of the hammer with your thumb, pull the trigger, release the trigger, that lets that transfer bar slide back down, and then just gently lower the hammer. And you're good, you're safe. It's a great way to make this rifle because you don't clutter it with other unnecessary things. It will, of course, take a scope. It's drilled and tapped on top of the receiver. It has a good set of iron sights, semi-buckhorns, already aboard, and it shoots pretty well with those. And, of course, you could also fit an aperture sight to this, which would be what I would think about doing. And it has sling swivel studs on it. It's ready. It's ready to go to hunt. All you need is ammo and a sling and shoot it so you know where you're at, and you're good to go. That's part of the story. The other part of the story is the cartridge. The 30-30 was a great deer cartridge, always was. Remington came along a little bit later and produced a cartridge called the 35 Remington. Now, the 35 Remington was designed to be just a little bit better, a little more power than the 30-30. Still great for medium game, white-tailed deer, black bear. So fast forward to the current century that we live in. And we have Midwestern states who have states that are fairly populous, a lot of people, things are crowded, a lot of roads. And you have the lawmakers and the folks who look at such things saying, we don't want people hunting with rifles that will shoot flat to 600 or 800 yards because it's just dangerous. The areas that you're hunting in, it's just potentially dangerous. So what you look for is something like the 30-30, something like the 35 Remington that will give you about 200 yards of pretty flat trajectory. And beyond that, it drops quite a bit. So it makes it safer. You don't have a cartridge that's just throwing a projectile way out there for a long, long, long distance. And realistically, we live in Ohio, in this country. 200 yards is a pretty decent deer shot. Could you have further? Yeah, maybe, but most of the time, that's about where you're going to land. Many, 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 many of them are going to be much closer, right? You're in the forest, you're going to have shots at 50 yards, 100 or less, lots of times, much less. The lawmakers decided that what we needed were straight wall cartridges specifically designed to keep that flat trajectory at a couple hundred yards. Well, the 30-30 kind of does that, but it's a bottleneck cartridge. 35 Remington, bottleneck cartridge. So we have all these straight wall cartridges that have come along. Now, when this all first started, the 4570 was the thing that everybody went to because it was a very powerful straight wall cartridge. Emphasis on the very powerful. It has significant recoil energy behind it. Really designed for bigger animals than medium game, although it works fine on those, right? So, but you have a lot of recoil energy there. So we have these manufacturers that have kicked out cartridges that are less recoiling. Now, specifically, we ended up with two, the 450 Bushmaster and the 350 Legend, that were designed to work in semi-automatic platforms. The 350 Legend in particular has been extremely popular because it has very light recoil and it's inexpensive comparatively. And you can put it in a semi-automatic platform. Well, Remington has come along and they have given us this, the 360 Buckhammer, they call it. It is a straight wall cartridge. It is not bottlenecked, but it's very interesting because its parent cartridge is the 3030. So what they did was they took the 3030 and they essentially straightened it. Well, when you straighten it, you end up with a bigger front end of the casing, so you can put a bigger bullet in it. So the bullet on this is actually a .358 caliber bullet, and Remington very wisely has put their 200 grain core lock in it. Now, the core lock is a bonded, jacketed soft point, and it has a strong reputation for working. It penetrates, it expands, it holds its weight. It has always been a very good, very high-performing projectile. 200 grain core lock, .358. This is the bullet that the .35 Remington launched, right there. That's what it is. It's that projectile. In a blown-out 30-30 case to give us a legal straight-wall cartridge for Ohio and a lot of other Midwestern states where these things are legal. This is a very capable cartridge. Recoil in this rifle is not bad. It's more than a .350, okay? Straight up, it's more than a .350, but it's not bad. It's very manageable. This rifle has a good recoil pad and has enough weight to handle this very, very well. By them putting that bullet in it, you've essentially got 35 Remington performance here. 35 Remington launched this bullet at around 2,100 feet per second, roughly. This cartridge, 360 Buckhammer's launching that bullet at about 22. So we're getting 35 Remington performance out of a straight wall cartridge. And we still have that roughly 200 yard of flat trajectory safe distance that we like to have in this part of the country that should do an absolutely fabulous job on anything you choose to shoot with it. So, new for 2023, we have the Henry lever action in 360 Buckhammer, and we have the cartridge. Remington's going to be producing that cartridge also in 180 grain. Federal's going to be producing it. This is a good combination. I think it's a very smart idea on their part. It could very well be more capable in the long run than some of the other cartridges out there. We'll see what happens. But that's what we have. We have these guns. We have this ammo. It's in stock. As always, we're going to tell you, please check with us for current price and availability because that stuff can change in the environment we live in. So if you're interested, you think this is a smart idea, I like lever action rifles. Again, uniquely American. And we can say, just like the 30-30, that this is a uniquely American cartridge. Hey, it's a pretty good deal, pretty good setup. We would recommend it. So give us a call or stop in or check our website, see what we got, check the current price and availability again, and we'll get you fixed up. That's what we have for today. I'm Alan for Old English Outfitters. Thanks for watching.